up in Alaska, and it's very cold there, as we all know. And who taught you how to cook?
My dad. My dad was a single dad. My mom left when I was 8, and he happened to be a cook in the Army, so he was actually a very good cook, so I was a lucky girl. And he taught me to cook. I was raised on a homestead. My family were homesteaders, which is a word a lot of people aren't familiar with in this day and age, but it basically means the government gave them land if they would settle the territory. And so I was raised, yep, there's my family. That's my grandma, Ruth. She was an aspiring opera singer, and she left Europe, her and my grandfather, to live in a free country. And so she gave up music, but taught all of her children to sing. And my dad picked up where she left off, made a couple records, and then when my mom left, he moved us to the homestead and took over raising us. And he passed music on to me. We always sang around the dinner table. It was sort of our prayer, was holding hands and singing whenever we ate. So for me, singing, and my grandma did live to see me become successful. So it was really sweet. She took me aside with tears in her eyes and said it was worth it to give up her dreams to see them come true for me, which was amazing. But I'm very passionate about cooking. I'm very passionate about what we eat. I was so fortunate to be raised on this homestead, only eating what we could kill or can, basically. So I grew up picking all our own berries, making our own jam. We grew our own wheat, we ground our own flour, we made our own bread, we made our own butter. I milked a cow every morning. Wow. And so I grew up eating whole food, not realizing
you should be
that's what it was.
Pioneer woman.
Right.
Homesteading woman, I guess.
Yeah, homesteading woman. But
how do you live in today's world, in today's society? How do you take the belief that you have or what you grew up on and fold it into what our society is today, the fast foods and the processed stuff?
For me, it's just an education, really learning what the difference is, and then thank heavens for the online community, because I'm actually able, I have a small family, so it's not as easy for me to garden, and I'd waste a lot of food if I garden too big or things like that. But I can get grass-fed beef through online. I can order almost everything I need, and now with the movement of people starting to be more aware of wanting to eat locally and grow locally, I think there's been a lot more emphasis on it, and we're gaining ground.
Where do you live now?
I'm in Nashville right now.
Oh, and do you, I know you love Alaska.
Yes.
This is still, and when you were growing up, there was no heat where you came. I mean, there was no heat.
We had a coal stove.
I mean,
I grew up in a saddle barn. My son, I have a 2.5-year-old. I'm like, I walked uphill both ways to school because there was a canyon, so I literally did walk up both ways.
That's so wonderful.
Hey, what did you guys sing around like, was it stuff your dad wrote? Was it songs that have been passed down?
It was sort of Swiss German folk songs, actually. Yeah.
Really? And I understand you yodeled as well. Or he did, or you do?
Yes, he taught me to yodel as a young child. In kindergarten, I started learning, which didn't make me very popular. And I've been in a lot of therapy for it.
Why so, though? Because yodeling is a real skill. It's like a real...
Thank you for noticing and giving proper homage to the yodel.
Well, just because it wouldn't be... I know, I assume it's a punchline for many things, but it isn't. I mean, there's you know...
Can you do?
Would you like a little bit of yodel?
Could you yodel?
Yes.
Would you guys like to hear a little bit? Let's hear a little.
A little embarrassing. I don't have my yodeling shoes on. I don't know.
There's shoes?
There are shoes. I want to buy a pair.
All right, I will do a German-style yodeling, which is sort of fast. I'm really embarrassed. Here I go.
No,
okay.
come on.
Okay. What, do you just launch into yodeling? I need like an oompa. Okay.
We may have an oompa. I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that about you.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? That's amazing.
Beautiful tone. Wow.
And now to show how pro and an amateur, Kim's going to show you where you start with something like
Not
that.
so much, Joel.
Not so much. All right, but you know what? We will serve you these wonderful muffins that Julie's going to be making for us today. These are blueberry muffins. Is this something that you came up with? Is this a family recipe, or?
It's sort of an adaptation of a family recipe. As I said, I have a 2.5-year-old son, and so I'm always looking for things I can make him that are still healthy and that I can take around in my purse is a big thing for me. I'm putting all food in Ziploc baggies and heading out the door with him. So he loves these little muffins. Should we start?
Yes, please.
Wonderful.
Let's start.
So we're going to use flour and some whole wheat.
Oh, is that your son? Oh my gosh, how beautiful!
Yes.
Oh, look at it.
Oh my God, look how chubby he is there.
That's a muffin man right there.
A little muffin man.
Oh my gosh, he's so much bigger now. So whole wheat flour, white flour. We have some pure via.
Now, what is pure via?
Pure via is a stevia sweetener, so it's all natural, no calorie, and this is non-GMO. They actually don't use any kind of corn in it. They found a different dextrose. So.
Well, we churn our own butter around, so you know, we're very natural.
Baking
Kim Douglas
soda.
showed us how to do that.
Salt.
It's called aisle 4.
And some oats.
I'll just put a few in and then we'll sprinkle the rest on top.
So you mix your dry ingredients
We mix our dry ingredients first, get them together. And then we'll combine all of our wet ingredients. And I actually grew up drinking real buttermilk, which is the milk that separates when you shake every day before school, I would shake our cream in a jar and make butter that way and squeeze all the buttermilk out.
Did you make butter too? You made the butter too?
Yep,
Wow.
we made butter.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, you're just like my hero
So-
woman. I'm just fantastic.
Buttermilk, a couple eggs, some vegetable oil.
Mark made
Yes.
the buttermilk this morning.
I always make a mess. I shouldn't have done this in my nice clothing.
I know.
I make such a mess when I cook.
Oh, me.
I'm gonna pretend I'm all neat and tidy here. It's gonna be a farce.
I work, Christina has come to my house to cook, and I know it's her because every dish is out of the cabinet, in the sink.
Oh, that's terrible, isn't it?
You do, but that's the way. Are you like that when you cook? Do you take, like you're just done with that one?
If
and
I
sink it
can,
goes?
as different recipes, I'll clean as I go, and sometimes you just can't, and you just have
Yeah.
to let it go. Then you just want to fold in your ingredients to give yourself a nice crumb on any baked good. It's nice not to overwork the.
The flour, the
Yeah.
gluten, and all that'll
Thank you.
start to.
So just fold it in where everything's moistened.
Now, did you grow blueberries up in Alaska?
I did not. We did have wild blueberries we'd go and pick, of course. A lot of rose hips and things like that.
This is good.
And then we're gonna wanna just fold in our blueberries and with some orange zest.
These
You know
are
what I
really
like about it?
good.
It's not sweet.
Yeah,
You know,
it's not
usually
sweet.
blueberries are, and you can taste like the butter or the grease in the muffin.
Yeah.
You
This
can
is
taste the
very-
goodness, actually. It doesn't
Taste the goodness.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste, processed or anything
It doesn't
like that.
taste
It's very
processed, you're
organic.
right.
Yeah, they're delicious but healthy.
Okay.
And then we'll just scoop some into our tins. Come
that.
this way. Whoop.
Think of starting your own bakery? Are these
No, I would
natural
be-
too? Because they feel it.
Yeah, they're great. And let me scoop them in. Oops, and I'm just messing them all up. But
Does
you
your
get
son
the
help you?
idea. He does. He loves to help me cook. He's really great.
how
This age
old
is
now?
so fun because he's so willing. I know it must change, right? At some
Oh,
point, he'll be
gosh.
like, I don't want to. Right
was
now,
a-
if I'm like, you want to help me sweep? He's like, yeah.
He's how old, Jewel?
He's 2.5.
He's 2.5.
Yeah.
Well, you know what Kim and I say? We say if women gave birth to teenagers, no one would ever have children. Right, Kim?
Right.
Okay.
And then we have some done. You guys are already enjoying them.
Oh, they're delicious.
Wow, look at that.
Drum roll. Thank you, people. Thank you. That's pretty gratifying. Thank you, guys.
Jill, you could have your own industry, your own brand. You're amazing.
Aw,
And not only that,
so
you're
sweet.
just a lovely person.
Well,
Yeah.
likewise.
It's so nice
really
to
fun
meet an
be here.
icon that you see
I know.
on TV and then meet and they're genuinely.
You should ask them
lovely
backstage.
person.
I'm not like this at all when I'm on the
I
camera.
don't believe that for a second.
you had me up to the point where you said I had a big mouth.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the act.
Truth talker. What can I say?
And by the way, you can go now and download the Tune In to Pure digital cookbook / songbook at purevia.com /Jewel Tunes. It's all there. And of course, we'll have information on our website.